Hey guys, Apple here with another video. You guys really enjoyed the topic of my last video, which I was really glad that you did. So that makes me excited to make the second part, talking about what you should do when sapping a Sentry. Last time we of course covered the don'ts of sapping one. If you haven't watched that one, you should. So in the last video, we covered the role of the spy and its job of restricting support classes to weaken the enemy team, and we went into two things that I recommend not to do. Firstly, being that waiting for the perfect moment to strike instead of mindlessly sapping it was the most effective strategy, and secondly, that you should not prioritize the Sentry. Today we will of course be giving some do's that will help your sapping endeavors, so grab your sapper, your cigarette, and your Lenny binds, and let's get started with the do's of sapping a Sentry. Lenny, roll the intro.
With my apologies.
Do base your timing on the position of the pyro. The pyro is your biggest enemy. He is what holds you back from doing significant damage to the enemy team. Not only does he damage a lot, but he can push you away with his air blast, light you on fire, making your cloak useless, and he can remove the sappers with the Ombrigger in one hit. Even if you kill the engineer, the pyro can still remove the sapper. This in some circumstances will save the Sentry, even if there is no engineer to heal the Sentry. Basically, the pyro is Satan incarnate into human form. So how are you supposed to do your sapping and stabbing with a mentally unstable pyro breathing over your neck? It's simple. The pyro has more jobs than just protecting the engineer and his buildings. He also has to defend the medic and to air blast projectiles when necessary. This normally means he has to multitask a lot. This is your opening. Just listen and watch the pyro and know his position. It is important to strike at the right moment, when the pyro is enough away from your target, busy doing whatever those disgusting creatures do. It's time to strike. It's best if the pyro is focused on something else. When pyro is, they become less reactive and therefore easy to deal with. If you ever get yourself in trouble, run away and shoot him with your revolver. Though, if you're caught, you're rarely able to be saved if the pyro knows what it's doing. Do use the revolver to take down sentries. The sapper is great because it not only disables the sentry from functioning, but also slowly depletes health, slowly destroying it. Though it takes 6 seconds for a level 1, 7.2 seconds for a level 2, and 8.64 seconds for a level 3 to take it down with the sapper alone. The increased time comes of course from the increased health from upgrading the Sentry. Because of the long time it takes to deplete a Sentry health fully, it can be very easy to remove the sapper before it gets destroyed, especially if there's a pyro with a homebreaker. So how can you increase the time it takes? With your revolver of course. The stock revolver has a base damage of 40, which means it's perfect for this. Though did you know that when sapping a Sentry, every incoming damage from the spy that plays the sapper is decreased by 33%. So the revolver more accurately damages 26.66666666 damage per shot. Also, since it doesn't really calculate damage in decimals, I would guess it actually does 27 damage. This actually only applies to the Sentry, so the dispenser and teleporter still takes 40 base damage from a revolver. So let's calculate how fast it takes to remove a Sentry with additional damage from the revolver. Firstly, we know that the Sentry damages 25 damage per second according to the wiki. Though the problem is that the Sentry doesn't do it in 1 second interval, but gradually. My guess is that it does 1 damage per 25th of a second, or 1 damage per 0.04 seconds. The revolver damages 27 per shot when shooting at a sap Sentry, and its firing speed is 0.58. So now that we have the parameters, we can calculate the time. Firstly, let's calculate the mini Sentry. It has a base health of 100. When only using a sapper, it takes 4 seconds to take down the mini Sentry. It takes 1.74 seconds while using only the revolver, and lastly it takes 1.74 seconds to take it down with both the revolver and the sapper. Next up is the level 1 Sentry. It has a 150 health. Using only the sapper takes 6 seconds to take it down. With only the revolver, that time is reduced to 2.32 seconds. Taken down with the revolver and the sapper, it's decreased to 1.68 seconds. Next up is the level 2 Sentry. It has 180 health. When only using the sapper, it takes 7.2 seconds to take it down. When using a revolver, it takes 2.9 seconds. And when using both the revolver and the sapper, it takes 2.9 seconds still. Lastly, we have the level 3 Sentry. It has a base health of 216. When only sapping, it goes down in 8.64 seconds. When shooting with the revolver alone, it takes 3.48 seconds. And lastly, with both, it takes 3.34 seconds. The mini Sentry is definitely the only Sentry I recommend taking down with the revolver alone. It only takes 3 shots with the revolver, and the low DPS of the mini Sentry makes it no concern. Removing that Sentry can be really useful, and since it's just as fast to destroy with a revolver, it's better to stay away from it and not risk the engineer knowing of your whereabouts by sapping it. The other Sentries should be taken down with a sapper and a few shots with your revolver. Not only is it faster, but the high DPS of the Sentry makes it very dangerous to not sap it before you shoot at it. The level 2 and level 3 will kill you under a second, so they are seriously dangerous when active. So those were my do's in the world of Sentry sapping. I hope that they were informative, and if so, remember to leave a like and maybe even subscribe. Thanks for all the support. Hey Lenny, roll the outro. By the way, my friend Sek, that German fuck, he uploaded a new video, and I think you should check it out. He's a really good friend of mine, and the video is pretty good, and I'm in it, so go check it out. Really, just press the link right there, and, you know, support him. He's really cool. He'll probably make a lot more videos if we just keep him going. So, thanks for helping him.